2024 has been a crazy year to look back on, with many things happening this year that we don't see every day. One of the main aspects that's made this year so crazy is the crazy amount of notable people that have been exposed over the past 12 months. At one point, it basically felt like it was literally new month, new person that gets exposed. So essentially, in this video, we're going to be looking at some of the major scandals that have happened month by month and the reactions that ensued from them. Yeah, this is my first time doing a type of video like this. I'm expected to do more in the future, so let me know if you like this. Starting off in January, we are going to be talking about none other than Epstein, which, I mean, I'm pretty sure doesn't really need an introduction of why he's a terrible person. But to keep it short and sweet, he was basically an American financier who was also known as a pedo who trafficked kids on his personal island known as Epstein Island. But more specifically with Epstein, we're going to be talking about the documents that surface online, linking tons of notable people, celebrities and politicians with the case of Epstein. These were eventually known as the Epstein Files, and notable people that came up on this list were people such as Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew, which didn't really surprise anyone, like they've been talked about for years. The files also linked in other people which came up as complete shocks to everyone, such as Stephen Hawking, which, bro, Twitter blew up after this because, I mean, for reasons you could probably obviously figure out. But of course, everything is alleged. This is still an ongoing case for legal reasons, don't sue me. But be sure to check out videos on the Epstein Files or Epstein list if you are interested. Now moving on to February, we are going to be talking about Tumad, who was a popular content creator and internet personality, best known for his "Good night girl, I'll see you tomorrow" meme. You've probably seen it.
Oh hey, I'm just about to go to bed. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright. Good night girl, I'll see you tomorrow.
But yeah, basically on the 14th of February 2024, TMZ put out an article stating that Tumad allegedly passed away from an overdose. Now right after this came out, many people actually clowned his death, making fun of him, notably the part where he apparently allegedly died whilst playing Overwatch, having Overwatch open for 3 days or something like that. And to someone who is unaware of Tumad, this may have seemed pretty harsh, and to be fair, it was kind of harsh. However, I'm not gonna lie, many people did have a valid reason to dislike Tumad, more so because of the fact that he got exposed prior to passing away for sexual assault. However, freshly after his death got announced by TMZ, a Twitter user by the name of Jameski further expanded on his allegations in a tweet, in which he stated that Tumad was a rapist and paedophile who 1. tried to kill him, and 2. preyed on a 13-year-old. Just to keep it short, there's a full tweet that I'm gonna put on the screen right now. But yeah, basically all of this further solidified people's beliefs to not feel any remorse for Tumad's death. He continued to be memed for months after his passing. Like, bro, I was on Twitter the other day, and months after his death, someone was like, I can't believe he really died whilst playing Overwatch. It's crazy out there, bro. Of course, I do want to say at the end of the day, it is kind of sad to see someone die so young. Send my prayers out to his family and stuff. But yeah, all around a crazy situation. If you want to see more information about it, I suggest heading out to Jameski's Twitter. He has a full document expanding on like Tumad's case essentially. I'm pretty sure still ongoing case as well, so yeah. Anyway, moving on to March. Now moving on to March, bro. Oh my days, bro. The person I'm about to talk about in March, bro, is actually quite disappointing for me because it was actually a streamer who I actually found pretty funny. But if you didn't catch on by now, the person I'm talking about is T Nichols. But if you don't know who T Nichols is, T Nichols was essentially an upcoming Twitch streamer, known for his stream clips such as confessions and ranking viewers, Spotify transitions, and so on. He did a lot of content with his viewers. And he literally had everything going well for him, bro. He had everything going well for him. But he had to throw it all away for a minor.
Are you serious right now, bro?
In March, Discord messages would surface of him and his interactions with a 17-year-old, he who was 21 at the time. And in these messages, he will be talking a little too crazy and explicit for someone who hasn't even graduated yet. If I can, I'm gonna put some of these up on the screen. I'm not gonna read them, but you can see for yourself. Now, right after he got exposed, he issued out an apology and did indeed try and make content for a little bit longer after getting exposed, but he kind of got like clowned for trying to come back. And I checked his Twitch, his last stream was on the 22nd of April, and none of his other socials seem to have anything on them after that date. So it's safe to say he was never seen again after that, and that is the end of what could have been a promising streaming career. Could have been in the streaming awards or anything like that, but threw it all away for a minor, bro. That's the story of T Nichols, man. Now moving on to April, this one is kind of like Marchy, sort of towards the end of March. But obviously because of the picture that I showed at the beginning, it kind of got put into April. And it was kind of like late March, so we'll still kind of include it for like a March/April segment. Anyway, in late March/April, you can probably figure out who I'm talking about, but if not, we're gonna be focusing on Sean Diddy Combs, aka P Diddy, aka Puff Daddy. Now I'm sure a lot of you have heard of his name and the memes that came out of this year surrounding his name, but if you don't know much about like what he does, well, did as a career, Sean Diddy Combs was a rapper and label executive. He was best known for being the founder of Bad Boy Records. This was the label that Biggie was signed to, and also helped to develop other artists' careers such as Usher, MGK, French Montana, and much more others. And he's also a businessman, known if you've heard of the liquor brand Ciroc. He has a 50% stake in that, so yeah. But anyway, enough backstory. Essentially, at the end of March, on the 25th of March, Diddy's LA home was raided, and this came after several lawsuits accusing the rapper of SA, with many of these cases even dating as far back to 1991, with some of these victims allegedly also being underage. One of the victims who sued him also included his former partner, Cassie Ventura, which by the way, footage also came out later showing Diddy chasing her out of a hotel and assaulting her. Now Diddy was also accused of sexual misconduct in his well-known parties, which were also alternatively labelled freak-offs, as they allegedly contained drug and alcohol-induced orgies, which allegedly minors were even present in. Now this, of course, like everything else, is still an alleged and ongoing case, but it definitely did not help Diddy's case whatsoever when they arrested him in September and found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. God damn, that's wild, bro. But yeah, that's a brief summary of Diddy. Now we're moving on to May. Now moving on to May, you can probably guess what I'm going to talk about, but we're going to be talking about the diss track war between Drake and Kendrick. I'm not gonna lie, bro, this was a crazy era to look back on, man. Probably my favorite moment of the year, to be honest. But anyway, this all started on March 22nd when Metro Boomin and Future released their collab album, We Don't Trust You. Banger album, by the way. Now this album actually featured Kendrick Lamar on the track Like That, and in this track he said the iconic lines, "Motherfuck the big three, nigga it's just big me, nigga bum." Now this was obviously taking shots at J. Cole and Drake, who were considered to be the big three, alongside Kendrick, J. Cole even stating so himself. Oh, and by the way, we're not going to be talking about J. Cole that much in this segment at all, especially after he folded right after making his 7-minute drill diss to Kendrick. But yeah, but Drake would soon respond to this weeks later in a diss track that surfaced online, which was officially released on April 19th called Push-Ups. And basically, to keep it short, he would take shots at Kendrick's size, how he big step with a size 7 men's on, and by also making a reference to his wife. Now Kendrick will respond to this on April 30th by dropping his diss track Euphoria, closely followed by 616 in LA on May 3rd. Things would start to get super serious when Drake would release Family Matters on May the 3rd, accusing Kendrick of domestic abuse. Less than an hour later, Kendrick would then drop a bombshell, Meet the Grahams, accusing Drake of sex trafficking and having a secret second child, which obviously is still alleged, but it was a big allegation considering that obviously when he had his first child, he kept that kind of hidden and that was exposed by Pusha T. But anyway, then the next day after that, he would release, you know, the hit song Not Like Us. They're not like us, they're not like us, which basically accused Drake of being a pedo and a culture vulture. Now this would result in many old and questionable videos and pictures of Drake resurfacing online, such as that old, very questionable clip of him kissing a 17-year-old on stage after being aware of her age, and his relations with Millie Bobby Brown in the past, which was already viewed as highly creepy and suspicious when it happened. Adding on to the culture vulture thing, there was also clips of Drake resurfacing when he was younger, criticizing the use of Toronto slang, just to obviously claim it years later.
Really romantic, got to know them much better, so it was fun. Do you have like your words up there that like are kind of funky and weird?
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group, like saying like, what are you guys doing? Say man's like you. It's really weird. Yeah, so man's like you are going to that, and then just means like the group.
Crew. That's interesting.
It's not, it's really ignorant.
And of course, this picture right here, if you know, you know. That picture is still wild, by the way. And yeah, even though Drake responded soon after with the Heart Part 6, Not Like Us basically solidified Kendrick's win, because the Heart Part 6 was clowned heavily. His questionable defenses, such as saying he's too famous to be doing stuff with kids, and he expected Kendrick to come with that Epstein angle, which That's a wild. Yo. All round crazy response. Futile response. But the thing is, obviously, I like Drake. I do like Drake's songs and stuff. I like him as an artist. And I do like that beat that was used in the Heart Part 6. In my opinion, that was probably the coldest beat in the entire diss track feud. But unfortunately, it had to have been used for what ended up being the worst diss track in the series. Shaking my head. But yeah, that's May done. Now moving on to June. If you don't know, June was the month that I actually turned 18 and became a legal adult. However, there exists a notable streamer who likes them under that age, and we are talking about, of course, none other than Dr. Disrespect, who at one point was a respected Twitch streamer. Keyword on the was, because he actually got banned years ago. But yeah, remember that time back in 2020 when Dr. Disrespect mysteriously got banned on Twitch, and it became a big point of discussion and a big old drama alert and everything. More specifically because it was like he kind of stayed quiet about the situation, refused to elaborate on the situation, and kind of like tried to low-key act like it wasn't really a big deal when it's literally your entire career that got suspended in front of you, like refusing to answer questions and everything. I mean, this literally had everyone confused for years because this was one of the biggest Twitch streamers on the platform, and perm bans are usually rarely given out. I mean, a lot of streamers get banned for like maybe a few days or so, but a permanent ban? Like, this was serious, right? Well, we finally found out in June when a Twitch employee leaked the information regarding his ban, stating that he was allegedly messaging underage persons back in 2017 using Twitch's Whisper feature, which is basically like Twitch's version of DMs, which Dr. Disrespect would soon make up a tweet admitting to this, which he actually deleted, strangely. But yeah, he was rightly criticized for this. I mean, you can't be doing that, mate. You're like 40. But weirdly enough, he was actually supported by a small handful of his supporters, which I find quite strange considering with the next person we're going to talk about, they definitely wouldn't have had the same standards for. And that's right, moving on to July, the person I'm talking about is none other than Ava Chris Tyson, formerly known as Chris Tyson before transition. Now, Chris was actually a core part of Mr. Bass's crew and was actually a childhood friend with him, even being roommates with him at one point. But essentially, in late July, screenshots of Chris Tyson's old Twitter and Reddit posts would resurface online, to which a lot of these posts were quite questionable as they would show their strange obsession with Lolly, which, if you don't know, is basically like cartoon P. Pretty weird. And in connection to this, their connection to the well-known creator of these type of artworks named Shadman, who not only made these artworks in general, which are already weird, but who'd also make these artworks depicting real children, which made it even worse. And I'm pretty sure this is actually the reason he got kicked out of art school growing up as well. So pretty sick, twisted human being. The tweets that would resurface would include Ava being a user of his site, requesting for his work, and also admitting to having a painting that was made by him, like a very questionable piece of artwork made by him, that Ava would actually have hung up in their living room. It was also found in a Mr. Beast video as well, which has since been taken down. In addition to this, Ava's questionable interactions with minors would also resurface online, such as her friendship with a 13-year-old boy, despite being a grown-ass man. But yeah, Ava eventually broke her silence on this matter on the 24th of July, basically apologizing for her past and announcing that she stepped away from the Mr. Beast crew herself. And yeah, Ava was already heavily disliked beforehand, obviously with her transition and stuff, which obviously hating her just simply for being trans is not justified, but people already didn't like her before this situation, so it's safe to say that she probably could never make an internet presence again. I don't think she even plans to. She's done. But yeah, that's enough about Ava. Right when this year was about to end, in December, we got one more major figure and a big one, as right before 2024 ended, you know how we spoke about Diddy earlier? Well, new information came out, allegedly, by the way, allegedly, linking Jay-Z to the case, alleging that he RP'd a 12-year-old girl with Diddy back in 2000. Now, Jay-Z actually put out a statement immediately right after this came out on his Rock Nation account on Twitter. But yeah, this was a big headline that literally just happened like the other week as of me recording this video. And it actually came as a shock to me, but apparently the Carters have been involved in some shady stuff. This didn't actually surprise a lot of people. But yeah, it's still an ongoing sort of case, and there's not much other information on what happened at the time of me recording this video. So yeah, if you did make it to the end of this video, I really do appreciate you for real. If you even clicked on this video to begin with, I really do heavily appreciate you for real, honestly. It means a lot to me. But if you made it to the end, especially, oh, shout out to you. Now, as I said earlier, this is my first time doing a type of video on this, and I actually do plan to do a lot more of these type of videos on this channel. So let me know what other stuff you want to see, and let me know like what I can improve on. But once again, thank you for watching. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. My Twitch and my other socials are in the description down below. And yeah, that's all I have to say. But yeah, goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.